The Heart of the Sun by Danielle Ackley-McPhail. The air crackled the day Borvo saw her in the public square. From his haven in the sky, the sun god looked down as the flicker of her unexpected flame caught his eye. He watched in fascination as she spun and gestured and clutched at anyone who drew near to where she stood in the place of declaration. They all ignored her, or brusquely snatched themselves away. Not one looked at the passion burning like the seams of a lava flow beneath her skin. He had to wonder what raged inside her to ignite such a powerful beacon. Whatever it was, it astounded him that those she caught did not burn with it the moment she touched them. She did not speak beyond the eloquence of her eyes, but never stopped clutching, not as long as he watched, nor would she, he suspected, far after. He was wrong. The pompous fools passing around her on their way to whatever triviality ruled their day began to deftly elude her grasping hands. She persisted, but they circled wide around. Borvo knew she would not chase them. Too much pride sizzled in her to bear such shame. Instead, she drew herself up and looked to the sky. Borvo went still, and his own gaze flared as she seemed to look right at him. The little one raised an unvoiced cry in entreaty, borne on the currents of that liquid fire coursing beneath her skin. Head flung back and arms lifted wide, as if she would take to his skies. But no. The earth bound her too heavily in flesh. Her shoulders slumped as her eyes drifted close, banking that intriguing fire. Silent tears fell across her cheeks like hot ash. The sight of her submission enraged Borvo until the heat of his displeasure beat down upon those below. They wilted at his wrath, struggling to go about their business, their flesh turning pink and angry as sweat dotted their brow. But not his little one. She straightened beneath his touch, smiled at the radiance of his rays. When her eyes opened once more, their passion rekindled. Her lips began to move fast, like the flicker of a wind-whipped fire, but Borvo could not hear her words. Reaching out, he sent tendrils of sunbeams to wrap about her limbs, charged with catching the faintest whisper. There was none. Puzzled, Borvo looked into the shallow souls of the people for some answer and read their offense. They ignored her, for she had no voice, no words, nothing but silence and passion and the energy of her movements to convince them. In their eyes she was less than them, and thus beneath their notice. Flawed, different, something they should not acknowledge or draw near, lest her infirmity corrupt their own worth. And then Borvo knew. He knew what ignited her soul and sparked her gaze. The little one declared herself, shouted to the world without words, "See me, I am here." And the sun god's heart answered, his warmth folding her in its embrace. "Little one," Borvo whispered into her soul, "surely you are born of fire, not mere earth. Come to me." And then he reached into her core and liberated her flame. The mortals gasped and flung themselves back as a pyre ignited where Canna stood in the place of declaration, and from its flame came the sound of glorious singing as her silenced voice was set free. Wings of fire unfurled, and Borvo's love took to the sky.